Greetings, everyone. This is Use the Fairy King, and I am talking to you from the Boston Public Gardens in Boston, Massachusetts, where they have the swan boats and the noisy tourist. I guess this is a test to see how badly the universe is out to get me at this point. I kept trying to find a tree that I could go to, and this lovely Norwegian pine tree right now is providing some cover. Although, occasionally the stray ball makes its way, and I just want to make sure that I'm alert enough to catch any that might come the way of the camera, which Alex Palermo of the original Tremont Tea Room in Boston, Massachusetts, was so nice to let me use. You know, my relationship with Starwood goes back actually many years, although the first time that I went, it was at a different location, and really my friends were trying to get me away from some very bad situations that were going on in my life at the time. I don't remember, like the 70s, I don't remember too much about it. But as time went on, Magdalene Morris saw once again that I was kind of like a duck out of water where I was, and told me that I was being abducted and taken off to upstate New York. And you know, it's strange, you hear a lot of times in like the Rainbow Circuit and other places people saying, "Welcome home." And it was the first time that I started hearing it from people that I really believed it. You know, of course, people that know me know that I love brushwood and I love wisteria. And I have a great love for a number of other festivals and events. I love the you know, Nature Sanctuary in French Lick, Our Haven. But you know, when Starwood left brushwood a few years ago, I got to thinking, you know, home really is where the people are. It's where we gather and we see our grantedly very strange and unique family, you know, once a year. Now, I have not been back to Starwood in 3 years. This will be my first time since they came to Wisteria, and you know, as people know, I have a very, very strong connection with Wisteria, the Wisterians, the Popovians. Yes, I am a Popovian. But you know, I'm really looking forward to this summer. You know, a lot of people were afraid when the change was made that Starwood would no longer be a brushwood, you know, that it was going to change everything. Well, change is not necessarily a bad thing. I've watched the way Jeff and others have really worked at, you know, putting together a wonderful college of esoteric, artistic, spiritual, on the edge, over the edge people, and I am really excited and looking forward to this year, seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen in 3 years, sometimes longer than that, coming back. You know, our community is a reflection of the world out there, and the world is in a constant state of change. I do notice one thing though. The mundane world is full of positive and negative change in the extreme. And what I'm finding more and more, the more I get out, the more places that I go, our community is in great change, but it's a beautiful change. I see it as a change for the greater good. A lot of the people that I work with are in their 20s. You know, they're the next generation. Artists, musicians, dancers primarily. But we have our scientists now, you know, just to keep up. couldn't be behaving like the Vatican, poo-poo to science and scientists. We can't have that. But, you know, I started a few years ago looking at magic in a lot of cases as unproven science. Now, I know that people refer to, for better or worse, Starwood, the cartoon hammer of pagan festivals, and you know, it's not only amusing, but it certainly bears some identification. This year, looking at the lineup of people that are coming, now I am very disappointed that I fell into Jeff's April Fool's with William Shatner coming, because I really wanted to have a cigar with him and sit and talk with him and just hear what the captain has to say, and how he would compare the Enterprise to Starwood, or perhaps some of the alien planets that as Captain Kirk he traveled to. From what I see and from where I sit right now, this year's Starwood is becoming this delightful smorgasbord, esoteric and otherwise. And I'm just so happy to be participating in it. I really am. I have noticed that a lot of people are coming back this year. And I've seen that happen a few times. And usually it's an indication that some really bitchin' magic is on the way. That things are about to open up and improve for the better. And we certainly could use that in our community. Over the last few years, you know, we have lost a lot of people that were a part of our tribe. And the thing that I found so disturbing was the fact that many of them, about eight at last count, are within 2 years of my age either way. And that puts light on a certain truth. You know, we're not here forever. I'm always telling people that if you're existing and not living, you're not doing your job right. And you're spitting in the face of everything that created you, from the ancestors to the gods. You know, when we're together, when we're gathered, some of the most beautiful, magical, poignant things happen. Certainly things that become the fuel and fire for great stories. And these are the stories that are going to be passed down generation after generation. There were a lot of skeptics in the beginning of this whole free-spirited spiritual movement from decades ago that were told, oh, this will never last, you know, the hippies are gone, all of that stuff, it doesn't work. Well, I have watched in the up-and-coming generation something that makes that an absolute lie. I think with the younger people in our tribe, they have certainly learned by the excesses and mistakes that a lot of us made in the 60s, the 70s, and in the 80s, although I don't know if there's any redemption for Jerry Rubin, but that's just my own opinion. But you know, we make our own magic, and magic is ever present. It's afoot, it's with us, it's with our breath. And on that note, you know, I look back to the first year that I really started to get involved and get the vibe of Starwood. And I began to think about who I had in my life at that time and what was going on. And, you know, I was coming out of tremendous tragedy, the loss of my son, you know, years of self-loathing and very destructive behavior, you know, all in the name of art. Not. But I look at my address books now, and I look at the correspondences that I have, And I owe Starwood a great debt, one that can never be repaid. You know, it opened the doors for me to make friends, and in turn make friends of friends, etc. And you know, that journey has taken me to some interesting places, not just with the festival circuit, but certainly working with Alex and Allison Gray in New York for nearly 4 years, for getting out into the world and exploring different communities that either came from the first Starwoods that I went to or descended from those friendships. You know, there is something for everyone. There's music, you know, there are workshops. It's like this wonderful college if you want to be responsible and, you know, go during the day. And the nights are filled with, you know, community, fellowship, joy, and bliss. So this is just my little note to let people know that, yeah, I've had some health problems to contend with, but I guess I'm right on schedule with that, and I'm doing my best to bounce back and be ready, and I will be. I've had to learn to slow things down a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to getting back to the people, getting back with the tribe, and coming home. And I hope this year that those of you that are sitting on the fence wondering if this can be done or that, remember, as a magician, pretty much everything is within your power as long as you have the will to exercise it. And even if you doubt that will, give it a shot. It will be lovely seeing everyone there, and I'm just so happy right now at the prospect. So from near or far, you know, plane or car, do your best, and hopefully I will see you around the fire. This is Use the Fairy King saying, I love all of you. Have a wonderful life. Thank you.